Hello lovely people, welcome to the third video in my book design series. That makes it sound really formal. It's not a formal series, I just apparently have 3 videos worth of stuff to say.
I'm
going to link the other 2 videos down below in case you want to check them out. This book is all about Under the Dust Jacket, so books that come with a dust jacket on, but when you take the dust jacket off, there's like a little surprise underneath. This is the one that I have the fewest books for. It is a design aspect that I really love, and I would really like to know if you have any books that also fit this, because it's one that I kind of want to buy more of because I really like the little like reveal aspect. I've left off of this books that just have interesting colour hardbacks because I thought that might get a bit excessive. But I do have some books which, when you take the dust jacket off, just have a really interesting like colour on the hardback that can sometimes be like a really fun reveal. What I'm looking at are books that have specific design elements on them. I'm going to kick this off with the book that is the book that made me want to do this video in the first place. It's one of my favourite hardbacks that I own. This is 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. Which is sort of a retelling of Scheherazade. Tells that story of a very powerful evil king who goes village to village and takes a girl each time to be his wife and then kills her. In this case, as well as telling stories, there is also like an explicit like magic element in this. I don't know, I read this a number of years ago now. I did do a review of it at the time, which I will link below and you'll be able to see how long ago it was. But I loved this at the time. I really need to do a reread. As you can see already, number one, beautiful hardcover in the first place, but there's this tantalising glimpse of what lies under the dust jacket. And if I take this off, you have this absolutely stunning naked hardcover, which extends out to here. So you can see this is like their faces that you get the glimpse of. There is this implication of like closeness and romance and stuff, but that's not really what this book is. It's not really a romance book. And then like the sweeping deserts and all this stuff. I just think that this is absolutely stunning. In addition to that, it does have these beautiful sprayed edges. Maybe I should do a sprayed edges video. We'll see. It has these beautiful sprayed edges with this pattern, and also this gorgeous end papers and a little ribbon to keep your place. Could have talked about this in my gorgeous end pages video, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise reveal. So this is one that I just think is absolutely stunning and I love it to pieces. After that is a book that I hauled very recently. This is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. As you can see from the cover, there's a lot of black, there's a lot of copper highlights. This carries on when you take the dust jacket off and you get this absolutely gorgeous spelling out of the name, continues on the spine and then comes back onto the front. I adore foil. We know this. That's what's become apparent as I do these videos. I specifically really love this contrast between this copper and this dark. I haven't read this yet, so I cannot read much meaning into this because I just don't know. But I am so excited for this book anyway, and then these design aspects make me particularly thrilled and intrigued. I didn't say, but Piranesi is about this guy, Piranesi, who lives in this house that is inspired by the artist Piranesi's amazing architectural drawings, and it's his time in the house. He goes around, he documents everything in the house. Every week he meets with this friend called the Other. That's all I know about it. It sounds very intriguing. Yes, yes. After that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This was gifted to me by my lovely friend Miriam, who accidentally ordered 2 copies and sent me her spare, and I'm very grateful. I really liked this cover anyway because I don't know how clearly you can see, but on this snake there are patches of the scales which are iridescent and shine. I don't know if this is doing anything for you, but it's very intriguing. It also has these gorgeous end papers, like the snake continuing. Don't know why I didn't include this in my end papers video either. When you take the dust jacket off, you have this really gorgeous compass point on it, and then on the side, the snakeskin pattern continues. I think that this is really effective and very simple compared to, like, for example, 1,000 Nights, but still equally like, this is very intriguing. This speaks to me of things. Yes, intriguing indeed. Next up is The Book of Dust, La Belle Sauvage, which is the first book in the Book of Dust series by Philip Pullman. This is a prequel series to his Dark Materials. This follows this storyline when Lyra is just a baby. There's this big flood, a lot of stuff like that. I talked about this in my end papers video because it has these really lovely simple end papers that look like waves. I love this naked hardcover so much. Look at this. It's this absolutely stunning, like, dust. It is dust, that is what it is, and I love that so much. It reminds me of 7 Brief Lessons on Physics by Carlo Rovelli, which I talked about in my naked hardcover video, where I said that these sparkles could be stars, they could be atoms, they could be all these things. In this case, they are explicitly dust. And then on the spine, there's a quotation from the book, and I think that this is such a lovely feature. I would love it if more hardbacks had like a quotation running down them. I think it's a really effective way to sort of add a detail that is enticing, because it's giving you like a little snippet, but not revealing too much. After that is a book that's not actually my own. This has been lent to me by my friend. This is The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. This is a beast of a book. This is the 3rd book in Hilary Mantel's Thomas Cromwell series. Mainly it's just this really gorgeous vibrant blue. But Sophie, you'll be crying. You said you weren't just going to do books that just had a nice colour underneath. Little spine detail for you. I think this is such a lovely little touch. I don't know, I just think it's a really, heraldry is something which sort of needs to be seen from a distance / be like recognisable, so I just think that this is really tying into heraldry with this like bold colour and then this detailing. I don't know, I just think it was really lovely and I wanted to include it. This next run of books, I don't know if it really counts as under a dust jacket or not, because I have some Folio Society books to talk about, and they come in these, which are sort of dust jackets, but also sort of not. You could argue that I should have included them in my naked hardback video, but I didn't, so I'm including them now. So this is the Exeter Riddle book. This translation is by Crossley, Holland. This is a book of Old English riddles that have been translated from Old English, and it has this really gorgeous design on the front, which I don't know what this is supposed to be. In many ways it kind of reminds me of like runes and things. Don't know, but it's intriguing. I'm sure it is something. I just don't know what. But it's intriguing and I liked it and I wanted to mention it. After that is this baby, which is Robert Graves' The Greek Myths, which is Robert Graves' retellings of Greek myths. It's very famous. I still haven't read it all the way through yet, but has this gorgeous covers, which is Leda and the Swan, aka that's Zeusy boy. Here's Leda, conception of Helen. I just think that this is, I mean, Folio Society books are gorgeous. I saw this in the window of Oxford Books one time and I was like, I'm getting it. Beautiful, beautiful. I just think it's really lovely, and it kind of evokes for me in the colour scheme like very much like Greek pottery, you know, with this type of terracotta-y red, this type of black figure, this type of white figure. Like, it just really reminds me of Greek pots, and I'm sure that's probably deliberate, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then the final Folio Society is British Myths and Legends, another collection of myths and legends. This is split into 3 different sections, which is History and Romance, Heroes and Saints, and Marvels and Magic. But if I take one of them out, you will see this gorgeous Excalibur coming out of the water. Lady of the Lake, holding the sword. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, yes, yes. There's going to be a lot of Arthurian legends in these, I'm sure, so I can see why this is the distinctive vision that they've gone for. I think it's just absolutely beautiful and stunning, and I, again, really need to read these books. The final book I'm going to talk about is a cheat, because essentially this is a book that I should have included in my naked hardcover video, but I had lent it out at the time and it's only just come back to me, so I'm just going to show it to you now as like a bonus extra. Maybe it'll entice you to watch that video if you haven't watched it yet. Who knows? But this is Bitter Greens by Kate Forsyth, and I just think that it's really lovely. I love this really bold black on yellow. It's such an interesting colour contrast. Bitter Greens tells like the true story of Rapunzel. This is multiple narratives in one. So in one narrative we're telling the story of Charlotte Rose de la Force, who was exiled from the court of Louis XIV. She is the person who actually wrote Rapunzel the first time. We're also telling the story of Selena Leonelli, who is the muse of the artist Titian, and then the third character we're following is Margarita, who is trapped in a doorless tower and burdened by tangles of her red gold hair, who must find a way to escape. So the stories of these three women are interweaved. It was a fun book. I had a really good time reading it, and I just think that this cover is gorgeous, and I couldn't not mention it. And it was sad to have missed it, so I thought, let's shove it on the end. That's everything I wanted to talk about this week. I would love to hear from you. Do you have any books that have particularly gorgeous, like, surprises underneath the dust jacket? It is a design element I love, and I would like to buy more of them. Yes, please, but you never know. In these times when you can't just go into a bookshop very easily anymore, like, you don't know if there's something under the dust jacket. You just don't know, and that's why it's a delight and a surprise. But yes, I'd love to hear any thoughts from you in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you next time for something different.